All right, thanks.
Oh, hey everyone. Thanks for joining us. This is our first ever YouTube live on the ecamm channel, which is kind of strange, right?
Yeah.
And it's also, we think it's our first ecamm live going live in 4K video. So if you so this is our 3.2 announcement. We just posted ecamm live 3.2, which we've been working on for a couple months now. It's been heavily tested and tried out in the beta group, and it is ready for everyone to start running as the current ecamm live release. So if you check,
ecamm live 3.2 is out.
yeah, we're really excited. And so if you're a current ecamm live customer, go ahead and do check for updates in the top menus, and what you should see is you'll be offered version 3.2, and you'll be able to enjoy all the new features. We thought we would do this live for a couple of reasons. We want to test it out. Of course, we've tested it out before, but this is our first time going live to a real YouTube audience.
Official.
Yes, a real official live stream. And we'll be able to actually demo some of these features, right? I mean,
Yeah. There might be some beta testers watching. You guys have helped us work on these features, and they're ready for prime time now, we feel.
yeah, wait. Ken, you should go and get your laptop and see if this is in 4K.
Ooh, will we be able to see it on the phone?
I don't think phones really play 4K, but anyone in the comments, if you're in Safari on the Mac, also does not play 4K.
What do I need?
You need Chrome, you need desktop Chrome, and then if you look in the bottom corner where you can pick the resolution, you should see the 4K option.
All right, I'll try it. So backing up, what are the new features in version 3.2, Glenn?
Well, it sounds like we're starting with the resolution changes. If you now look in the outputs menu and you're a pro plan subscriber, you'll see some new options for stream size. So that's top of the screen, options menu, stream size, and you can pick, there's two new settings. There's really high, is what we're calling 1440p, which is kind of in between 1080 and 4K. And I didn't really know what to call it. It's also called, like, it's not 3K, it's like, I forget, there was a name for it, but we call it really high. And then there's 4K, which is 2,160 pixels high. Oh, and we've got someone in the comments saying 4K for me, so awesome.
Yes, I got 4K over here too. Look at us, we're even clearer on my computer than we are on yours. Does that make any sense?
No, it doesn't make any sense. So stop hogging our bandwidth. And then, so
looking good.
So that is a new feature that we hope that you enjoy. Obviously, it's only really going to get 4K in YouTube, but if you use 4K mode and go to in-stream to Facebook, Facebook is definitely not going to present it to people in 4K, but your recording will be 4K.
So which you could then send to YouTube or edit.
You're sending Facebook 4K, and Facebook is saying, what the heck is this, and transcoding it down to 720 or 1080, depending on what your settings are.
And you're ready for the future, so that when Facebook does start sending 4K, you will be able to do 4K. If you want a crisp 4K broadcast right now, YouTube is the way to go.
And your recording is going to look beautiful. So if you have any plans to repurpose for YouTube or the future, that's the way to go.
Now, what are the requirements for this, Glenn? Because not everyone is going to be able to swing 4K, right?
There are a lot of requirements, starting with your Mac. You probably want a modern Mac. It's encoding on the chip. It's hardware encoding.
Right.
So it's not actually putting a lot of extra strain on the Mac. It's because all that 4K encoding is happening on the graphics card as well as the rendering pipeline.
A lot more work for the graphics card. So you're not going to want like a MacBook Air. You're going to want a MacBook Pro or a new iMac, something with a good graphics card. And of course, the most important thing that you should probably have is a 4K camera of some kind.
That is a very good point. There are uses for the 4K streaming that don't require a 4K camera. For example, if you're doing screen sharing and you wish to demo an app, or you're doing some sort of tutorial in an app and you have a very large screen, and then you stream in 4K, your YouTube viewers are going to be able to see your screen in a lot of detail. Like 4K is even bigger than a computer screen. So you actually have more detail than you actually need. But for the kind of thing we're doing right now, where you want the video to be in 4K, what you need is a camera that will actually send 4K to ecamm.live, because I mean, you can pick, so in other words, you can pick 4K in the output menu, but that's not going to magically make your inputs 4K. So what do we have here?
A question, what camera are we using now? Good question.
So this is a Canon RP. It's one of the Canon DSLRs that are one of the new ones Canon is selling.
Brand new Canon.
And we ordered it specifically for this purpose. One of the features we saw on the feature list was 4K HDMI output. And so we have this Canon in movie mode, and it's outputting 4K HDMI.
Over an HDMI cable.
Yes.
Which needed to be a special HDMI cable. We learned a lot.
Let me punch up the...
It had to be a special 4K capable HDMI cable.
Let me punch up ecamm and see if I can show you guys.
But we don't want to get too technical.
Oh, that's messing up it. And I don't want to do that. That's messing up the network.
The HDMI cable's running into a CamLink 4K. What company makes that?
Elgato Gaming makes these CamLinks.
Right here.
I've got an extra one right here. Yeah, these look like there's two cams of CamLinks. There's the 1080 and the 4K. I believe the 1080 is not made anymore because it costs extra on Amazon, oddly. But the CamLink 4K is what they're selling now. It looks
exactly the same.
So all we did was 4K capable camera, HDMI cable. We did have to go and buy a special HDMI cable.
Right.
Because all the HDMI cables we had at the office were apparently not premium enough.
And then voila, we were getting 4K into the app. Switched our aspect to 4K, and I feel like there's one other requirement. Oh, right. This is a feature of our Pro plan.
That's right. Yeah. Once you buy ecamm.live, you have 30 days to try the Pro, and after that, if you didn't subscribe to Pro, you still have a chance to
14 days.
You have 14 days to try it out, and then you can subscribe to the Pro plan for the 4K option. And then the final thing is the bandwidth.
Oh yeah, bandwidth.
I just noticed that we are not on our 5 gigahertz network.
Oh, weird.
So we should probably not close that computer.
All right.
So yeah, if you're on Wi-Fi, you want a 5 gigahertz network to make sure that your bandwidth is high enough, and you want to make sure your upload speed is. You want at least like 20 gigabit.
Megabit.
20 I'm sorry.
20
megabit is going to be right around where a full high quality 4K stream is going to land you. And of course you want a little bit of a buffer, because you don't know when like someone's going to walk into your house and fire up their iPad and start streaming a movie. So you don't want to be right at 20 megabit. You want a pretty good upload speed. And we seem to be doing okay right now, even on the 2 gigahertz Wi-Fi, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah, and if it can't keep up, it'll try lower bit rates. So we started at this really high bit rate because we want it to look incredible, but you can still stream 4K with a lower bit rate.
That's true. Yes.
It just won't be as crisp, and you might not even notice the difference because 4K is just so big that there's some wiggle room for bit rate. ecamm.live manages the bit rate completely automatically, so you won't necessarily have to worry about it. But that 20 megabit is a best case.
And finally, one more thing I'll say about this feature is, so maybe you don't have a fast enough upload speed. Is this feature still useful? Yes, it is, because don't forget about record-only mode. You can now use ecamm.live in record-only mode and record a 4K video. And there actually aren't a lot of other ways to do this on a Mac. If you go on Elgato's help site and say, hey, I have a Mac and a CamLink 4K, how can I actually record a 4K video? QuickTime Player doesn't do it, as far as I know. iMovie does not do it.
Wow.
It's kind of like an obscure thing. So ecamm.live is now probably the coolest way to record 4K video in general. Don't even forget about all the other cool stuff.
Yeah, and we were talking to Justin Brown last night, and he was saying that he uses ecamm.live not just for live, but for all of his pre-recorded videos now, because he recognizes it as a great tool just for production. And now that it's 4K capable, you don't need any other software. Someone in the comment was asking, like, I don't have a brand new Mac. Does this mean I'm not going to be able to use ecamm.live anymore? No, this change only applies to people who want to switch to 4K. You're not being required to switch to 4K.
Don't get too hung up on 4K, because remember, like, most computer screens and displays aren't even that big. But that doesn't make it any less cool. All right, so we touched on a lot on that 4K option. Another thing you're going to notice kind of related to that is in the camera effects window. If you connect the camera now that's offering more than one resolution, you'll see a new checkbox to crank it up to the max resolution. I can't show you right now because I guess the Camlink 4K is only offering 4K. Well, it offers whatever is coming through the HDMI cable. But if you connect something like a Brio or even like a Logitech C920, that will default you to 720, I believe, typically for the resolution. And then if you want to say, like, well, I have a pretty fast Mac and I'm going live in 1080, I want to crank it up to that. There's now a checkbox in the settings to say use the max resolution, and you'll see it flicker a little bit, and then it'll come back and you'll be in 1080 mode.
The resolution is a function of the camera itself, so we have to say start the camera up in your maximum quality versus our default quality, which is not maximum, because usually we don't want to waste your bandwidth pulling 4K off a camera if you're only streaming in 720, because that would just be... Yeah,
and I mean, and 720 is what Facebook is going to send people anyway. In most cases.
Cool. So 4K.
That's a really feature that we're really excited about. The feature that I think we are the most excited about is our brand new support for Elgato Stream Deck. Now, I feel like a lot of people have a Stream Deck. I feel like it's a really popular tool. What do you think?
I didn't really get it at first, and then when we got one, it's like, wow, this is really neat.
Yeah, this is it for those who have not seen the Stream Deck. We just have a camera aimed at, I'm going to picture myself in here. Oh, there we are. Okay. So here is the Stream Deck, and it's a pretty cool device. This is the standard Stream Deck, which has 5, 10, 15 buttons on it. There's also I'm going to switch back to this.
Just flip it so that it's inset.
Do what?
Yeah, like press the little button to reverse the cameras.
Oh, okay.
There.
So this is there's 15 buttons. There's also a mini Stream Deck, and that has how many keys? It has like 4 or 6 keys. It's really ridiculously small. And there's a Mega Stream Deck. The Mega Stream Deck has 30-something buttons.
Is it really called the Mega?
It's called, I don't remember what it's called. And then there is phone Stream Decks. Elgato's happy to sell you a phone app that turns your phone into a Stream Deck. I think I actually have it here. Let me show you. I'm going to turn off the air conditioner. It's like making a humming noise.
Okay.
Yeah, here's the phone Stream Deck.
So tell people what this thing is for.
So here's the phone Stream Deck. It's just like having a Stream Deck, but you don't have a Stream Deck. So what is this thing? It records. It lets you control your broadcast, and if you buy it, it has built-in support for a few apps like OBS, built-in support. YouTube has some functionality there. Facebook has some functionality. But what they actually added back in, I think all the way back in January, was the ability to have native plugins to the Stream Deck. So when you upgrade to version 3.2, the first thing it's going to ask you is, oh, I see you have a Stream Deck. Would you like to install Ecamm's Stream Deck plugin?
And what it does is it lets you assign these little buttons to control the app. And why would you want to do this? Imagine you're doing a live stream, you're sitting, you don't have an assistant, you're by yourself, and you want to be able to control your broadcast, switch between scenes, switch cameras, and you don't want to be mucking around with your mouse or your trackpad, this is basically like a quick button bar that you can set up exactly the way you need it. And
yeah, it's very customized.
when you have
an
an app that has a plugin, the integration is very tight. So check this out.
Yeah, that's the coolest part. Is like this isn't just like the Stream Deck sending hotkeys to the app. This is a deep integration where ecamm.live and Stream Deck are talking back and forth and making it a truly rich experience.
So let's show how people will do it.
So when you first open the Stream Deck app, let me show you here, make a new scene. I'm going to switch over to the Stream Deck. Here's the Stream Deck app. I put myself in a circle, because I like circles. Myself over here. Stream Deck over here. Okay, so here's the Stream Deck interface. And I just started a new, I started a brand new profile, so I could kind of start from scratch here. And what you'll notice is you kind of have to scroll down to the bottom, and then you'll see all the custom actions. So ecamm is adding these 13 custom actions to Stream Deck. They're completely specific to ecamm.live. And of course, the first one you'll see is a Go Live button. I can pop that in there, and then as soon as you do that, what you'll see is on the Stream Deck, we now have this Go Live button showing up. Oh, the sun is like coming through a skylight, of course. Can you block it with that big poster?
I'll use the green screen.
The sun just came through this giant skylight on the ceiling. Let's see if I can block that. Oh yeah, perfect, okay.
Green screen to the rescue.
So now as soon as I drag that in, and Jasper's asking when will it be live? Today, 3.2, just posted it. Stream Deck integration is live. So as you can see, as soon as I drag that into the interface, I now have this nice Go Live and Finish button showing up right here in the corner. Focus. Cool, isn't that awesome? And then let me show you another button here. So there's also pause. If you're doing record only mode, pause is a really nice feature. But the most powerful feature in this is running a scene. For those of you who aren't familiar with scenes, this is setting up exactly the way you want it. So if you're doing a show, you want to set up scenes and kind of move through them as the show progresses. So for example, right now I have just a few scenes set up. I'll do run scene, and this is going to list out the 3 scenes that I have in ecamm.live right now. So I said maybe I want this scene to be me and Ken and I. I want this scene, I want to add another scene. That's going to be, it's called copy of me for some reason. And then this scene is going to be this one called new scene. It's obviously not working right. So now I have these 3 buttons in here. Here's my Stream Deck. It's out of the way. Can you focus that a little bit? So now you can see that.
Overexposed.
There we go. The actual thumbnail previews actually come through, which is really neat. And then I can actually switch between these scenes. Here is a scene of the camera showing the Stream Deck. Here is a scene of screen sharing. And here's a scene with the 4K video from the Canon RP. So if I press this, boom, here's the scenes. Press this one, go to the screen sharing, and then I press this, and it goes to the Canon RP. I think there's a bug there though, because it's
showing the wrong thumbnail.
It is. I think it has to do with switching profiles or something.
I thought we had that licked.
I did too.
It's showing them all highlighted.
Yeah, we'll get it fixed. I don't think you'll actually see this bug, to be honest. But so that's scenes, and I can also show you a couple other ones here. There's next scene, previous scene. These are going to kind of go through your scenes consecutively. There is playing a video. Now we debated about adding this button because The best way to have a video integrated into your show is to actually make a scene, right, and put the video in the scene.
Yeah.
That way you have your overlays that you any overlays you might want in the scene or not in the scene are going to be set up. Any sort of muting that you may have wanted to apply to a certain audio source is going to be set up. So the best way to roll a video is to set up a scene in advance. But you might have a situation where you want to roll a movie on the fly. So to do that, you can just pick a movie. Here's a little intro bit, little connection thing. I can press. So when I press, so you see the little movie thumbnail in there actually. So if I press this to roll this movie thumbnail, it's going to play the video, and then if I press it again, it's going to switch back to where I was.
Oh, cool.
So I'll start with this shot of me, and now I'm going to press that video button. Now it's rolling the video. I press that button again, and it comes back to to camera mode.
That's sweet.
So it's a way to kind of like roll a video on the fly. All right, get another.
Yeah, you can add as many video buttons as you need.
Yeah, so all these you can add as many or as little. You can actually make nested folders. Like say I want to make a folder just of videos. How do I do this?
I don't know.
Right click maybe, I create folder. And then now, boom, now I have way more than 16 buttons. Because you can put in these nested
like 10
folders.
different videos.
And then go back in. So you can actually have a button that kicks you into a whole new folder. Which is really
Crazy.
cool. So other things here, show hide overlay. So if I wanted to show and hide overlays, and go back to this scene. I can pick this version 3.2 overlay. So now I have a button that is going to show and hide that overlay.
Hey, that's awesome.
So that might be useful if you have a bunch of overlays you want to quickly punch in and out during the show. We also have sound effects. So this is
an interesting feature because it's something that you can only do with the Stream Deck right now, at least. We don't have a soundboard feature in the app itself.
That's right, we don't. Yeah.
But we can now wire in sound effects from the Stream Deck, and it's really neat.
Yeah. So if you can pick an MP3, you can pick a movie. What was I using last night? I'm gonna pick a WAV file here, and then I'll press this button, and you should be able to hear through. And then you can press again to stop. So so you could use it for rolling some music into your intro, for example, or you could actually use it for literal sound effects, like drum roll or laugh track or
Laugh track. That would be awesome.
or little zinging noises, like something you might want to be adding into a podcast. So as kind of was saying, like this is right now the only way to roll sound effects on ecamm.live. We haven't got a chance to add just a regular old sound effects window into the app, but this actually works really well. And then of course you can have as many of those sound effects buttons as you want. You could even have a whole Stream Deck folder of sound effects ready to go. A couple more things to show you here. We have the where did my oh, okay, I pressed that. I'm getting a little so just a couple more things to show you. There are the modes, like camera switcher, screen share, and like if you wanted a button to just kick you into screen sharing mode, we have that. Switch cameras, we have that. So if you have, say you had, I could set up 2 camera buttons here, one with the FaceTime camera and one with the Camlink 4K. So let me do this one as the EOS 50D. And another thing that Elgato lets you do is customize your buttons. So if you wanted to put a little Canon icon on one of these buttons and a little cam link button on the other, you could do that as well.
Neat.
So then now I should be able to switch between these two just with the touch of a button. And if you want to do, like, see, that kicked us out of screen sharing mode, but if we wanted to, I could uncheck this box right here. So I want to say, I want to uncheck this switch to camera mode checkbox. So now I can use camera switcher and it's staying in screen share mode.
Oh man, you thought of everything.
Pretty cool. So you can use that switcher in many different ways. Okay, we almost filled up our whole stream deck here, but a couple more things to show you. Viewer count, 0. That's better. 29. Okay. So that is not even a button. That is like a just so I can see how that comes through on the cam link. 50D. Oh, that's the 50D. Okay. So on the cam link, you can see that now it's nothing even really happens when you press that, but it's giving you a nice visual indication of how many people are watching just by glancing at the stream deck. So kind of just like a little fun feature.
Wow, we're losing people.
All right, and well, they probably don't have stream decks. And then last but not least, showing and hiding the pip and muting. So this is a useful one. So say you want to just mute, maybe we have to like cough right now, so I'm going to press mute. We really did cough just now, just to demonstrate that. And you can see that's a nice, you know, if you come from a radio background, you kind of expect like a cough button. And now we have that in the stream deck. And it's important to note that these are all specific to ecamm.live. Like if you have, you might notice there's already like a button in stream deck to play a sound effect. Mm-hmm. But
that will just play the sound effect out your computer
speaker. Yeah, it's just playing it out the computer speaker.
It's not going to go into your live.
Our ecamm.live sound effect button, it looks very similar, except what that's going to do is automatically route that audio into your broadcast. And say you might have headphones plugged in, you can hear the sound effects. Maybe you're using Ecamm's echo cancellation feature, but you don't have to worry about it. That sound is going to go right into the broadcast, and everyone's going to be able to hear it.
Yeah.
And since you no longer have to rely on hotkeys for your Stream Deck integration, another nice thing is ecamm.live does not have to be in the foreground. That was one of the sticky things about using about Elgato Stream Deck sending hotkey commands, is as soon as ecamm.live is not the active app, hotkeys are not going to do anything. Whereas now you can be in some other app, like demoing an app or something, or doing a slideshow with screen sharing and controlling your broadcast completely with the Stream Deck.
Yeah. Jasper's asking if we can split the view. You absolutely can do that. There's a split screen setting, and I could add the Stream Deck over on the side like that.
Oh yeah, we should have been doing that. Thanks for the suggestion, Jeff.
It's a little bit better. We can split the view. Jasper
yeah,
had a good idea.
That's a frame that looks like it got a little low. Maybe the lighting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's Stream Deck. We're super excited about it. We've been testing it for a couple months now. So my hope is that this works awesome for you guys. It should just be a matter of it's going to prompt you to install the plugin, and it will go it'll go in automatically, and you got to scroll like I was showing you before. You got to scroll down in this list of custom actions, and you'll see all those good ecamm.live actions listed down at the bottom, and you can just start dragging them in.
Do you think that Elgato's going to list us now on their like little marketplace thing?
I think so. I mean, technically, we don't even really need to be in that marketplace thingy because it's pretty automatic. But it still would be cool to be in there. Just to kind of let people know that ecamm.live is now something that has a Stream Deck plugin. So,
all right. So next new feature.
Okay, so this is cool. So another thing I forgot to mention about 4K.
Oh yeah.
Is 4K input is cool because if you're inputting in 4K, even if you're not streaming in 4K, you can use ecamm.live digital zoom in the camera effects and bring your image in, and now we still look crystal clear.
Right.
Right, because we started with a 14K picture. We're bringing it in digitally, and since most of you probably aren't seeing us in 4K, is no quality loss at all. So how far can we go in here? Yeah, so we still look, with the exception of the sun coming through the skylight directly onto my head.
I know.
Maybe I can. That green screen's not tall enough to block
Why have
the
we never
shade.
had this problem before?
Because I can explain to you how the sun moves through the sky differently depending on what day of the year it is. And it just happened to hit us just at the right moment. So this is cool. How is everyone like watching us on YouTube?
We have
'cause
a lot of viewers. 20,
we usually go live on
26,
Facebook.
27.
That's pretty awesome.
All right.
And we use the scheduling feature, which is cool. We schedule live on YouTube. If you're going live, you got to be using scheduling, because that will get that entry onto your channel before you go live. You can promote it. I think YouTube will display it up to 2 weeks before your broadcast, which is incredibly useful.
All right, let's go on to the next cool feature. Oh, and so the Stream Deck integration, that's available in our standard plan. So everybody, any customer should be able to take advantage of that right away, as long as you buy a Stream Deck.
Yeah.
The only requirement is a Stream Deck.
Yeah. No pro needed for the Stream Deck. That's everyone in the standard plan, the lifetime plan. Everyone gets Stream Deck integration. And thank you so much for the beta group for pounding on that and getting that just perfect, except for that little weird thing we saw. Okay, so what else do we have for them today?
Widgets.
Widgets. Oh yeah, we're completely unprepared to show widgets, so we get the opportunity to show this to you, just like you would see it completely from scratch for the first time.
All right.
All right. Let me close up the Stream Deck window here and see what. And I'm gonna just share my screen because that'll be the easiest. So here's a cool ecamm.live feature that we can show you. I clean up my desktop here a little.
Good luck with that.
Because my desktop is super messy and I want to share my screen. I'm going to take everything, put it in a folder called Stuff.
It's never
Okay, here goes nothing. Okay, so if you're in ecamm.live, you may know that we have screen sharing mode. Cool. Screen sharing mode is very powerful. But let's say you just wanted to share your entire display, including the ecamm.live app, right?
Wouldn't that cause a crazy tunnel of video?
No, because this is not going to actually, this is what I'm going to show you is called live demo mode. It's in the options menu. It's always been there. And when you pick this, you'll get one of those like red rings around your screen.
Like you're in like screen flow or something.
Yeah, and your whole screen is now shared. You don't see, normally ecamm.live main window shows you what's going out over the air. But in this case, it's sharing your whole screen, and ecamm.live main window is not showing you what's going on over the air, so it's a little tricky. But it's very useful for something like this, where I want to show you guys what's going on my screen. And since this is 4K, this hopefully looks pretty good, right?
Yeah.
This looks awesome.
I assume.
And I'm also using another pro feature, which is this isn't new either, but we're sharing out to a Dell display.
Yeah.
Using that pro feature, so this is actually going out to a monitor over there. All right, so what was I going to show you? As widgets. If you look in your overlays menu now, you'll see this new entry, new widget overlay, and this is going to bring up this I would say this is a pro feature. It's kind of advanced. It's not something that is as typically as user-friendly and automatic as most of the features we have in ecamm, and you can see that right away when the screen comes up. Widget URL, what's that? That is a URL you're going to get on a website and paste it in here, and then there are these options that you typically don't need, so we put it in a little spin down window. All right, so widgets, what are they? Let's go get one. I put this little link in here to Streamlabs. This is going to bring up the Streamlabs window here. Let me change this setting. I'm going to turn off keep utility windows in front. And here's the Streamlabs website. Essentially, a widget is going to tie into one of the platform that you're streaming on. So you'll log into YouTube or log into Facebook or log into Twitch, and the widget is essentially, it's behind the scenes, it's actually a web page. And it's a web page that with like a clear background, if that makes sense. So that web page is updating dynamically based on what's going on in your stream. Maybe it's showing you a status message or a chat stream or a donation count or a scrolling message. It's actually happening on a website, and then ecamm.live is bringing that in, and it has a transparent background. So it's essentially an overlay, whether it's text or graphics or both, that is updating dynamically based on what's going on in your chat.
So give some cool examples of why people might want to use this.
So let's say you want to try and get your YouTube comments to show up as like a live stream in the chat. Let's see if we can do that.
That'd be cool.
So I'm a little bit of a beginner at this too. So I'm going to log into Streamlabs.
And what is Streamlabs? Is that a free thing?
Streamlabs is like they make a live streaming app.
Okay.
I think it's Windows only. It's an
right.
OBS. It's like, I feel like it's an OBS branch or something like that. They try to make it pretty user friendly, and it's more like very popular in the gaming community. About Streamlabs widgets is something above and beyond this. I'll log into YouTube, and you can log into all your various platforms. And let's see if I can log into my YouTube, Ecamm Network YouTube. Allow. Okay, here goes nothing. Did anything happen? I'll try it again. YouTube.
You clicked the wrong one.
Log in with YouTube. Ecamm Network. Come on. Dashboard. Okay.
Second time's the charm.
So now it's asking about something, donations. Cloud bot.
Enable.
Yeah, I don't really know what any of this is talking about. I can't download Streamlabs because I'm on Windows, but I'm going to skip this. Alert box. So okay, here's an example of an alert box. And okay, here's my Streamlabs dashboard. So you can see it's pulling in our basically I just gave it the keys to my YouTube, and it's pulling in all this information. So let's take a look at alert box. I can basically get a widget alert here. Is there any way to do chat? Subscribers. Okay, there's some weird random GIF in here. And save. Okay, so this is the key. You want to get a URL. So I'm going to do copy URL. I'm going to come back into Ecamm, and I'm going to paste this URL. Okay, I'm going to put this window in the way so you can't see it, because the URL is supposed to be private. All right. You're going to end up seeing it. Sorry. Okay, you saw the URL. And I'm going to hit Add Widget Overlay. And now I have what appears to be an invisible overlay, right? And I'm going to put it over here in the corner. And when I get a subscriber, that's actually going to pop up. So I think there's a test button back here. I'm going to do test subscriber. There we go.
That's
so now
so
the
cool.
overlay, like it show. Don't ask me why there's like a running zombie Ecamm Network just subscribed. So that is like that's an example of a widget overlay. Now I'm a beginner at this. I'm sure all you could put on a much better video about how these things work.
So if someone subscribes to our channel right now,
Yeah.
that would just appear automatically?
Yeah, so that overlay is still there. It's a little confusing because it's invisible. But you can see
Someone
this
who's
overlay.
watching, subscribe.
Yeah, someone
So that-
subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we'll see if that comes through.
Come on, somebody.
Got to give them a couple of seconds. And this alert box is lots of stuff. It's like
Is it?
donations, subscribers, members, super chats. I don't think this channel is even monetized. But that's an example. So other examples might be a live chat stream on Twitch. It might be the Restream. I think has a widget for their chat stream.
Donation
as well.
counters.
Yeah, if you have like a tip jar, that kind of thing, that will all come through.
And I'm sure you can do all sorts of cool custom stuff too.
Yeah, no one's subscribing.
I'll subscribe.
I'm going to turn off the live demo mode. So, okay, so now we're back in regular mode. We still have this big invisible overlay over the screen. Yeah, subscribe. Are you subscribed to our YouTube?
I don't know.
So Ken's going to subscribe to our YouTube channel and see how this works.
I don't know. Maybe it's not working. None of our viewers have subscribed. All right.
Oh, Dennis Barnes says he has.
Subscribe. I wasn't subscribed.
Oh. Well, I think it's
Did it
running.
work? I just clicked subscribe.
I didn't see anything.
Maybe you have to put it live or something.
Settings?
Because I just clicked subscribe and like it didn't appear.
What is this button? Oh, no. I don't know.
There's probably just something that we're missing. We have to click.
I probably just didn't like turn it on or something.
The test worked.
It's all widgets. Yeah, this chat box. Oh, here's chat box. Let me try chat box. Now you guys are gonna be super bored.
You have to tell it which live to put it on.
Let me try chat box. All right, now it's a chat box. Let's see if any of these chats come through.
You don't have to tell it what like live to show the chats from? Or is it just any chat?
I don't know.
We're not doing this right.
Yeah, maybe we can do another video later once we know how the heck this works.
Just put a simple like widget in there.
The chat box would be cool. Oh wait,
Oh.
it's working! Woohoo! There we go. Everybody comment down below. So this is
Maybe it just takes a
ecamm.live's
second.
first
Live chat.
live chat. Look at that. Live chat stream. You guys have been asking for that.
Yeah, you can do it now.
Yeah, we got that. Okay, so here is
And it's like it's coming in a few seconds before like our chat window. How are they doing that?
well, they might be polling faster. I don't know.
Yeah,
But-
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so now we have these live chats coming up. People comment down below, and your chat is don't do anything too silly because it's going to appear right down here on the chat.
Come on, somebody. Write something.
And you should comment if no one else is going to comment.
All right, I'll write something.
Okay. I know Brian wants to comment. Oh, there we go. I knew Brian would comment. So there's our chat down there. So that's widgets. They're really, really cool. And I feel like it's the kind of thing where you could really dive down deep into it and get really creative with these widgets. And it's essentially like it's a web page. It's showing like from here to here, and Streamlabs is bringing those in with a JavaScript, and we're just essentially overlaying it over the broadcast. I will say it's a little processor intensive to do this because we're running a full website inside the browser and refreshing it basically constantly and showing it in the broadcast. So probably want to limit yourself to just one widget at a time, or ecamm.live might get a little tired of having all these websites on the page. But this is cool. I mean, this reminds me of something like a gamer type thing, right? With the comments in the corner.
And Streamlabs, just to be clear, is not the only place to get widgets, right? You could get like a weather widget from somewhere in theory, or there definitely were other.
Could you bring in any web page?
Yeah. If you pasted in like a web page URL, what would happen?
It would show a website, but you can't scroll or like click links or anything.
Right. So
it's not in any website that doesn't need to be interactive.
So it's a non-interactive website.
Yes. It's dynamic in that it will change based on what's happening, but you can't bring in a website and click around on it.
So I found this cool website that shows a wind map because I was looking at the hurricane. If I pasted in this URL of the wind map website, what would happen?
Oh, we're going off script. This is going to be crazy.
All right, new widget overlay. Paste. Oh, sweet.
Is it updating?
No, because it's JavaScript that's supposed to be spinning the hurricane.
Yeah, the JavaScript should run.
Oh, I don't know how to make that little overlay go away though.
Yeah, so your mileage may vary on websites that aren't designed for this kind of thing.
Oh yeah, and Restream's chat widget, right?
Yeah, I think they have a chat widget.
Right. Yeah.
And as Terrence is saying, like, yeah, people can see chat on other platforms, as well as if you use that kind of thing, people are going to see your chat coming through on repurposed videos that you put on other platforms, as well as during replay. Those comments, of course, will come through because they're part of your broadcast.
Right.
That is pretty cool. I have to say, that is a neat feature. I don't think I ever really got that chat thing working properly before.
It should be easy. It's easy, guys.
Oh yeah. Okay, so we've been going on for a while now on these 3 really exciting features. Now we're going to switch gears and just run through a couple other things that you might notice in this version of the app. A couple versions back, we introduced stereo audio. This is just something that, like, when we originally did the app, we said, well, the people really want stereo, probably not. People aren't really needing it. But it turns out there are a lot of use cases where people want stereo. People doing music lessons, people doing performances. DJs, you want stereo in your broadcast. So we introduced stereo a while back. I've been told that I pronounce stereo strangely. Stereo. I don't know how to say it, but I'm probably saying it wrong. But anyway, I'll call it 2-channel stereophonic audio. What we've done is we've gone ahead and changed the way the meters will appear. So if audio is coming through left and right, you will see 2 little lines instead of 1 in the sound levels. Let me show you that right now. That is a nothing screen. ecamm.live, sound levels. Here we go. Here's the sound level screen that you're familiar with. And as you can see, I'm using a Yeti, which is actually a stereo mic. It has a left and a right microphone inside it. And by default, microphone audio is not going to come through in stereo. You have to go to the preferences and enable this. And the reason why is because a lot of the situations where you have 2-channel audio is going to be something like a mixer. Let me show you. Can you hand me one of those 2-channel mixers? I want to bore people. So this is like a 2-channel interface. Like if you were plugging in 2 XLR or 1/4-inch cables in here, channel 1, channel 2. In that situation, you don't want them to be stereos necessarily. Right. You're going to you have a mic, you plug it into channel 1, and you don't have anything plugged into channel 2. You don't want to just be on the left speaker, right? So by default, ecamm.live is going to mix any channels that it sees together and just blast it out on all the channels. But if you have something like the Yeti connected, and you actually want it to be left and right, you check that checkbox in the settings, and it's going to put channel 1 on the left, channel 2 on the right, and you'll notice right away in your sound levels now, you'll actually be able to see, it's gone again, you'll actually be able to see the audio levels coming through automatically in left and right. So let me try and tap on just the right here. I can't get it to, I'll blow into it. I can't get it to be different. I just saw a little difference. All right, but you get the idea.
I'm over here on the left.
I just saw a little bit of difference there. It's coming in stereo. And then the movie audio and the system audio are always going to be stereo, regardless of the setting. So if I go and roll a movie, how am I going to show this to you? You're just going to have to trust me on this one. I guess I can use system audio. I mean the live demo mode. So now if I roll a movie now, you'll see these are all showing you the left and right channels. And it's neat to look at, but it's also a really easy way to check and see if your feed is coming through in stereo. You get the idea. Ken, what else is new in version 3.2?
Oh, there's a ton of great fixes.
Oh, the fixes.
Yeah.
That's not super exciting.
Oh, there's little labels on the cameras.
Oh yeah, yeah, these are really cool. Let me show you the labels on the So, I don't know why we never had this before, but if you look at the camera switcher here, we label the inputs. Wow, genius, right? So now, where before you'd have to rely on the contents of the image for context. Now you see these nicely labeled: CamLink 4K, Candy EOS 50D, and FaceTime camera. And if you have a Skype guest in here, the Skype guest's Skype screen name is actually going to come through to the little picker. So that's very useful, especially if you have several Skype guests that are all triplets and you can't readily tell them apart. You can just read the little labels and tell who is who.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, and also Ken's mentioning ecamm.live is now fully compatible with macOS 10.15 Catalina beta or preview, I guess Apple's calling it. So when Catalina is released at an unspecified date in the future, probably in September.
Usually the third week of September.
Don't even hesitate. Maybe wait a couple days. Make sure it's not a complete disaster. But ecamm.live is ready, tested, and
solid,
completely compatible with macOS 10.15 Catalina.
That's not easy either.
No.
Basically, when Catalina comes out, all your apps are gonna break.
No, it's not that bad.
If they're not updated.
It's not.
No, like nothing's.
Well, the
work.
weird thing is they changed the security thing. Where like remember, you know how in the current macOS it says like you might download some sketchy old app and it says like the identity of the developer cannot be determined or something like that.
Right.
They've upped that, like they take it to the next level, and now basically any app that has not been scanned by Apple for malware will literally not open.
Yeah, it'll be like no.
The ones that were already on your computer will open just fine. But if you just newly downloaded something, like if you loaded up Catalina right now, and you tried to open like an app like Adobe Photoshop 6 or something like that, something that's not new.
If you downloaded it and opened it,
it's going to give you a message saying like, sorry, can't open this.
I can't open this.
Can't open it.
It might be.
It has not been checked. It's really weird, but
it's a great idea, but it's a pain in the butt for developers.
So now, whenever we release an update or any version to you can rest assured
you're still in screen mode. Brian's checking out your notifications.
What does my notification say? Oh,
karate.
The kids have karate lessons. See, that's the thing about live demo mode. I always forget that it's turned on. We got to make the red ring thicker.
And maybe flashing or something.
But anyway, where was it? Oh yeah, so you can rest assured that anything we release now has been sent to Apple, scanned for malware, and sent back to us, and with a digital certificate.
There have been cases where malware has been in software, and the developers didn't know it.
Yeah,
so it's good to even check, have a check be done.
In extreme case, yeah. So, and it's also all digitally signed and notarized and all that stuff, so that you're running exactly what we built. It hasn't been modified in any way, and it's very safe.
Right.
Let's bring back the chat widget. What happened to our chat widget?
Did you hide it?
Maybe it's in another scene. Yeah, here it is. I'm going to drag it into this scene.
I didn't know you could do that.
Oh, yeah. There's our chat widget. Nothing in it yet. Okay, so yeah, what else? I got a list here.
Can I just point out one thing before you keep going?
Yeah.
That's a super old school shirt you're wearing. Does anybody out in the audience know what happened at WWDC 2007? That was the year that Steve Jobs came out on stage and said, there will not be apps on the iPhone.
Oh, yeah.
Because the iPhone had just come out in January of 2007, and this was June, and developers were dying to write apps for it.
And it was a developer conference.
And he's like, you're not going to need apps. That's not That's not
Oh yeah, he said
that's not going to be a thing.
he said we don't need apps because there will be websites.
And you can just make a website.
And if you want an app, you essentially make a website. We will not have the ability to write native apps. That's what he said. It was pretty epic.
One of the least,
and he said it to a room of programmers too.
One of the least forward-looking statements that he ever made.
Well,
was
it was a new thing.
There will not be apps on the iPhone.
The iPhone had only been out for 5 months at that point.
Yeah.
So Dennis is saying he's still on 12. I think he meant he's saying he's still on maybe 10.12. Ken, aren't you still on 10.12?
Mm-hmm.
Or 10? Is it 10.13?
10.12.
It's time to update, dude. Yeah, 10.15 is the way of the future.
That doesn't sound right. Yeah, that's a lot. That's wicked old.
And if you're not on 10.14 yet, now is the time, because 10.14 is a great operating system. I have to say, it's very stable, except for the occasional kernel panic. It's a great operating system. Okay, a couple more cool things to show you. Okay, I feel like we're gonna have to do this one from scratch too. Well, then we'll wrap it up. So this is a really minor thing, but it's actually incredibly useful for situations where you might want to have a series of overlays that you can move through dynamically. Yeah. For example, say you are doing a church service and you want to put some verses on the screen, or you're doing like a karaoke or like any sort of music thing where you want to put lyrics on the screen. Mm-hmm. There has never really been a way in ecamm.live to cycle through a series of images. And now we actually have a way to do that using PDF overlays that are transparent. So for the past several versions, you've been able to bring in a PDF. This is a lesser known feature. But if I just bring in any sort of a PDF file, I've always been able to...
You're literally just going to search your computer for PDF right now.
Oh, no, that's totally not what I'm doing right now. I need a PDF that's not like my taxes or something.
So you would have like a PDF of all your hymns if you were at church service, or if you were giving a presentation, you could have a PDF that was relevant, right?
Yeah. So, well, I mean, but the key is a multi-page PDF. So why don't we create one in Keynote right now, and I can show you how cool this is. So let's go into Keynote.
You're not missing karate, are you?
I don't think I'm supposed to be bringing the kids to karate. How do I get into this search thing? Keynote. Open Keynote.
Bye, Eric. We're going off the rails. He's like, I'm out of here. He's going on.
All right. This is a cool feature, though. I encourage you to stick with me. New document. New presentation. And I'm just going to throw some green text on the screen. Oh, that's the background.
Undo.
Actually, I want a background that is clear. A clear background. No fill. And I'm going to put some white text. Here's some white text. So if I did this right, okay, I'm going to put this down at the bottom. I'm going to make a new slide. All right, so now I've got 2 slides. I'm going to save this.
Make a third one.
Oh, God. We are the ones to make a better day? Okay, so I'll save this as a PDF, export as PDF. And I'm not sure if I'm doing this right, but the idea is this has a transparent background, and let me check the document settings here. Anything about transparency?
No, you set the background to be transparent.
All right, we'll try. Export as PDF. Test.pdf. Okay, now back in ecamm, which is what you all care about, we'll do a new image overlay. Test.pdf. And as you can see, it comes in with a white background. So here's the key. I'm going to right-click it, PDF options, transparent background, drum roll please. Boom. Okay, so that worked on the first try. Now we have a PDF here. I'm going to hide the comments. We have a PDF overlay that is transparent.
And multi-page.
So did you see what I did? I did PDF options, transparent background. And then the cool part about PDF overlays is you have this little multi-page arrow here, and I can move through the pages either with these buttons or simply by using, now we're really dark, the sun went in, by using the arrow keys on my keyboard.
What about the Stream Deck?
Well, I mean, you have arrow keys on your keyboard. So now I have this PDF overlay. It acts just like a regular image overlay, and except when I take my left and right arrow keys, I can move through one by one and cycle through. I can jump to a page. And I think that's really powerful. What do you think?
I mean,
did you see how quickly
it's a little bit of a hidden feature.
But did you see how quickly I did that in Keynote without any sort of like planning or anything?
Yeah.
I just threw together a bunch of slides with transparent backgrounds and exported as PDF, brought it in, and that was that.
Right. We need like a tutorial for that.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
We need that. That's not an obvious thing, isn't it? All right. We just hit the hour mark.
Nice.
Now it's time to start working on 3.3. So thank you for watching. So put down in the comments what you want to see in the next version. We promise this version won't take 3 months.
We know by now what people want.
Well, we do have a great list of things we want to add. But we absolutely love hearing from our users about what they love to see. That influences our what we do very heavily. So let us know what you want to see there.
And keep spreading the word about ecamm.live, because we can't do this without you guys' support. And I'm not joking. Our #1 way of finding new customers is word of mouth, based on outreach to you guys, and you just telling other people about it.
Yeah, tell everyone and get in. And if you are really in the habit of telling people about it, make sure that you're in our affiliate program. Katie will put down in the comments the link to that. You could actually get, it's not some goofy affiliate program where we like send you tokens that you can use to get stuffed animals. This is like a real affiliate program where we share the revenue with our affiliates. We send out thousands of dollars to our affiliates that have helped us spread the word about this app over the last 2 years. So make sure you get in on that and start sharing.
Just cash in your pocket.
It is. It really is. All right. So with that, thank you for joining us. I'm going to use the button on the Stream Deck to play some outro music. And
then the finish button.
And then I'm going to press the finish button on the Stream Deck to actually finish it.
Let me get the Stream Deck back in the shot so everyone can see.
Okay. Ready? Sound effects. Cueing now. And I'm going to mute the microphone. I could also actually do that. I'm going to mute the mic. Sound effects. Ready? Wait, where'd the Stream Deck go?
Switch over.
Oh, I'm not switched over. Focus. All right. So here's mute. Here is sound effects. And here is the button I will use to end the broadcast. Okay. Thanks for joining us.